Just to see Back to the Future when, when I first started out in the 80s and really started doing things after the films in the early 90s, I felt all alone out here. There was very few people doing it. And now I look around and everybody's got a time machine. Everybody's got a website. Everybody's got a Facebook group. Everybody's got an Instagram account. And so, it's everywhere. And it's very gratifying to see, something that I put so much of my heart and soul into for so long, really, be, I'm verified now. It was not for vain. So,
well, how difficult is it to run the official franchise website and social media channels?
Well, it takes a lot of effort. Anytime, and I know your line of work as well. Content is king. You've got to keep content fresh, and I'll admit that finding time to keep the .com site fresh, it's a challenge. I mostly update it with any official news, which is very far and few between. I don't get a lot of press releases anymore. But events, I try to, all the cast members events that are coming up. You and I had talked about the Nashville Symphony has Back to the Future in concert. We finally get to see it. And so it's finally coming to Nashville in June. And so I'm planning on going to that finally. And so I keep up with all the official events, the musical, the museum exhibit out in Hollywood, the concerts, anytime they book new dates. The Hollywood Bowl is coming back in. And so I've got all those. And the cast members who are doing appearances, if they let me know that they're doing something, a lot of them are good to send me things. A lot of them I just have to do searches on Twitter and find out some of these things for myself on Facebook and all. And then a lot of people say, hey, did you know Lloyd's going to be at this show or doing this play? And so I try to keep up with it, but a lot of times life gets in the way, and sometimes I'm slow to the punch getting that information out there. But and I've automated a lot of it now. I'm starting to learn that there's a lot of things out there that I can automate that makes it a lot easier. I've still got a long way to go to keep it as fresh as I would like, but yeah, I probably like a lot of content authors, you just have to kind of Google search and just kind of get out there and look and see where it's at, and then retweet and reshare and so forth. And so it's I'll say, it's a struggle. I'm middle-aged now, so finding the time and work a job and have a family life and everything, and being involved in your church and all it's a juggling act. And so
well, Stephen, you're in good company. Believe me, we all understand.
Very much.
Sure. You know how it is. Just any kind of social media, if you don't post anything in 3 or 4 days, it's like they're dead. They're gone. They're you got to keep it fresh. You got to be putting content out. And so I'm not a big Instagrammer. My daughter and my son have heard me over the years. I hate Instagram. I don't like. And I'm just not a Instagram. I look at it from a business standpoint. How can I make this work for Back to the Future? And when you can't hyperlink some things, I put stuff out there from time to time, but I'm not active very well on, and I was very late to the game on it too. So all the Back to the Future accounts got taken up. And so, but I've been on Facebook a very long time. I kind of shifted gears on Facebook. I originally was using it just to promote the website when it was BTTF.com, and I was kind of short-sighted in it. But Twitter came around. I had a Twitter account, but I was able to obtain the sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. I was able to acquire the official Twitter account, and so I have maintained that for about as long as I've done the .com site, since for 9 years now. And so I've got a Pinterest account that I don't really do anything with either. It's another one of those that go,
is Pinterest even still a thing?
Yeah, my daughter uses it.
I okay. Out there, but I have to. I struggle to remember my password for it. So, but I don't do Snapchat. There's a lot of them. I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't do any of those. You're not going to see Stephen Clark out there on TikTok.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, Bama Geeks might get you on there. We might get you on there.
Yeah, I'll just remember about the unlicensed stuff.
He's going to get you on that every time.
Right,
yeah. Make sure you wear a license shirt when we see him in person.
Staying current on content, that's always a struggle on a website or social media. Mm-hmm. I put a lot of effort into running the store, the online store. And so, not only do I work with a lot of the licensees, I also carry their products. And so thanks, Brock, for supporting the site all these years, 20 years. And
glad to.
And I do it just as another outlet. As I can't compete with Amazon.com. I can't compete with a lot of these others, but I'm amazed though. Sometimes people will post, "Hey, I just got this great toy, and I got it from the Back to the Future website." And they go, people comment, "What's the website?" I go, "How do you not know what the website?"
Just pull up the Google,
and so
pull up the Google and type in Back to the Future. And odds are that's one of the first things that's going to come up.
And so a lot of people say, "Well, what's the web address for the store?" And so I find myself commenting and trying to peddle it a little bit, but I try not to be overbearing about it. But that part of it is frustrating when you've done something for 30 years and there's still people who go, "I had no idea that there was an official website. I had no idea there was an official Twitter account." And so we go, well, the store's been around 20 years too, and so different domains over the years, but that is under backtothefuture.store. And about a year and a half ago, almost a year and a half ago, I moved it. I stayed on the platform for a very long time, and I won't trash the old host that I was on, but it had just, they quit developing. They were not staying robust with all the e-commerce features, and I finally moved to Shopify about 16 months ago, and that was the best thing I had done. I was probably about 5 years late coming to Shopify, and I was, when you're a one-man show, you really can't take a website down and migrate, and because if I had done it by myself, it would take me months to do it by myself. But I outsourced the migration, and they were able to do it in about 3 weeks, which is fantastic for me. But and I've stuck with them and doing a lot of branding over the years. They had done my rebranding of my store for many incarnations, but here in about another week, I'm hoping to launch my first phone app. So we're getting ready to put a phone app for the store in both the App Store and Google Play, and so it's in testing mode right now, and waiting for a few minor tweaks before I start promoting that. So I'm hoping that will help the trustworthiness of the store, that it's got its own app, and that I can do push notifications to anybody who downloads it. Don't have to rely solely on emails and things like that. So it just, there's no playbook for me to go by. This is just organic. This is just me staying current and trying to keep it going after 3 decades, and finding new ways to market Back to the Future to new audiences and new fans, and making it continue to work for everybody.
Awesome. Well, just a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
Before we wrap it up. I have to know all the items from your store and your mailing address is P.O. Box 88.
Yes.
How did you finagle that one?
Well, it was very good. I've had 2 P.O. boxes. I had one near my former employer for a number of years, which you probably first ordered from, and I could not secure 88 at that post office. I was able to get 880, so I thought, okay, it's 88.0. That's how I justify it. So it was 880, and I used that one for a number of years.
Mhm.
And you know that I also work in higher ed, and you and I have worked in higher ed for a number of years and seen each other over the years at different conferences and things like that as well. And so I started looking at my end game of retiring from higher ed a number of years back, and so I moved my PO box away from my employer and moved it back to my hometown, which is in Killen, just outside of Florence.
Mhm.
And when I did, I went in with a number of numbers that I said, okay, please tell me you've got one of these available. And I had 88, and I think I had 121.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
their numbers didn't go all the way up to 1985 or 2015 or anything like that. They didn't have enough boxes in there to go up to years. And so I was probably going to do 880 again or 888, but lo and behold, they had 88 available.
Nice.
And so I said, that's the one. They said, well, it's a very small box. And I was used to a much bigger box where packages, nothing fits in my box except just mail. I always get the yellow tags, but I said, it's worth it just to get 88 on there. So it's easy for people to remember. They know when they get a return address from backtofuture.com at PO Box 88. They know it's legit. So, yeah, I got very lucky when that one, Brock.